when you click that link, instantly you are brought to a screen like this, which is the home page. So you see, it tells you a little bit about their services, and you can scroll down to the end and see what they are offering here. So our interest is on this bar here. If you already have an account, you can click on login. But since we are creating everything from scratch, click on get started. Then you see this page loads, and then it tells you to choose the type of site or the topic of your website. So in my case, you can choose anything here. Whatever you choose here is not going to seriously affect the layout of your website. I'll just choose portfolio and I'll click on next. What do you want? You can see all of these things here. Do you want to sell on-demand videos, get appointments, publish blog or other media, offer contact form? For the sake of this video, I'll just select all of these so that I can show you how the different functionalities work. So I'll just check all of these. And of course, I'll go to next. It gives you the opportunity. Do you want to build with AI or do you want to browse templates? If you're good going with AI, then you can click on that. But in this case, we want to use templates. I'll click on that. Now, it gives you this template here. You can also select this one page so that it adds more templates. You can now select the template you desire to use. All of these templates are really good. So whichever one you choose, it will not be too different. What I want to do is I want to use a template, but I'm actually going to build out some areas by myself. If we choose to keep scrolling, we may not end today without, by the end of today, we may not have exhausted all the templates. So I'll just simply go ahead and click on this one, Radian. And it shows you this color scheme here. You can change the color scheme of this website to any of these. It's going to take a little bit of time to load the entire template. And you see this button here. If I click there, I can see the template on mobile. You see, it's quite good. You can go ahead and change a lot of these things here, but I would just want to use the template for demonstration purposes. Now, when you import this Radiant template, what it's going to do is that it's going to come with a lot of pages, all the pages that come with the website. If you look at the menu bar, it may not show here, but it's going to show. I can also change the color scheme here. You see, when I click on this color scheme, it changes on the website. You can do this here or you can do it on the website itself. If I click on this other color scheme, you see this area changes to yellow. This is for the modern generation that likes pop colors. I can also choose this, and you get the point. So I'm just going to click on start with this design. It will take some time. It says setting things up. Now I'm brought to this screen. And this is where I'm supposed to create my account. Since I don't yet have an account, if I already had an account, I'll use this button up here which says login. Now, you can continue with Google or with email. If you click on more options, it shows you Facebook and with Apple. I'm going to click on continue with email. I'm just going to add my details here and click on continue. Then I'll meet you on the other side. I've inserted my credentials and it's loading the page. I'll say never. So Squarespace is loading the template. Here we are on this page and it's asking us to put our site name. I'll just say tutorial. Let's just say Squarespace, or I'll say Square Tutorial. And then I'll click on continue. Everything you need to sell. It says physical products and services, bookable appointments for clients, access to content, courses, and more. I'll just click on continue. Continue again. And get started, of course. So, right off the bat, you can see we have here this. Now it's showing us this invoice pop-up. Let me close that. Right off the bat, you can see we have this website. It's a beautiful website. It looks quite good. Now, if I want to start editing, I'm going to click here to edit. And it's going to load the editable screen. If you can take a look at this website, let's scroll through. I think we're supposed to do this. Let's scroll through and you can see everything looks very, very good. Now let me look at this website again on mobile for you to know that we are not bluffing when we say Squarespace is actually a very good website builder. Here it is on mobile, and you can edit the mobile layout from here. Now let me just take a moment to go back to the desktop view, and I want to click on exit. Now let's take a walk through this left-hand panel. Look here, we see pages. These are all the pages of this website. If I preview this website, you'll see the menu bar. It's not showing quite yet because we changed the color scheme, and the color of the menu items is exactly this color. So we are going to have to change that now, but you can see it on the front end. You can see the website on the front end. It actually looks really good. This is something you will have to be a professional designer a lot of money to build for you. Let's come back to the editable screen. So these are the pages. Okay, the main navigation menu is not yet added. So we have this project. We can add all of these, float house and all this. We can add each of these to the menu bar, and you see that it's going to appear here. And we can also add this, the cultural center here. We can add this other page too. So right off the bat, you see it already adds this menu bar here. If I go ahead and preview this, if I preview this right now, you can see we have this menu bar here. So that is simply how to add the menu bar to Squarespace. But I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. I will go back to home, and then you see styles. On this side, we can change the color scheme like you saw us do before we started this tutorial. So if I click here and I want to edit palette, it gives me a host of other palettes I can use. If I choose this one, you can see it, this yellow pop color, which is really beautiful looking. And then this other one, if I click here, you see now it shows me another color scheme. But I will choose to, let's see, let me go with this. So those are the colors. You can change this color scheme here. Maybe you want to make this yellow, which is the main color for this palette. You want to make it brighter. You can do it by dragging this color selector there. Now you now see the yellow areas are really, really yellow. If I want to choose this other, I think this is cyan. This is actually one of my favorite colors. So if I change that there, you see that this area changes. Let's now come back. Now, so these are the different colors, and you can do a lot of changes here. If you choose this area, if you click here, it means that all these dark areas are going to have text. The text are going to be darkish looking. So it's going to load, and you can select from here. Now, we don't want to go too much into that. We'll come back to that later on. Now we'll come back. Let's come back to styles. Let me save this. I'll still come back. Squarespace does this thing where sometimes when you exit from any area, it brings you back to the home page. I'll still come back to site styles. And here you see forms. You can choose how you want your forms to look like. So let's go to all forms pack. Now, if you choose it this way, if you choose this layout, all your forms are going to have these rounded corners. Now, let me see if we have a form here. If I select here, you see all the forms. The form has this rounded area, which is beautiful if you like it. And then this one, if I select it this way, you can see it's rounded, but not as much. And then if I choose this option, you see it has just the downer, the downer section. The downer, I don't know how to call it, the downer border, the bottom border. It doesn't have the top and the corners. So I think this looks good, but this is only good if you have a thick color here, which makes these fields to protrude. That is that. Let's go back. Let's go to field shape. You can fill it, or you can make it to be this way. So you can change the roundness of and you can even do custom. How round do you want it to be? That's the corner roundness, the border roundness. And then the padding, should it be small, or should it be medium, or should it be large? I think you can even customize it from here. You can customize it. You can make it bigger and bigger and bigger, but we will just leave that the way it is. Let me just make it large. And then the effects, you can change a lot here. You can add the label. Let's say we want to do something like a spinner. So this button is always going to be spinning. And then that is when you click on this submit button, you're going to see a spinner there. Then if you click on label, it will say submitting. If you click on ellipsis, you see this ellipsis is moving and then it says submitted. Now we can now come back to the styles and then you can choose your font here. Now the title, the paragraph and all that. So you can choose your fonts. Let's say paragraphs. You can choose the style. Let's say paragraph. And then the size. You can make it paragraph 1 or paragraph 2. That is all up to you. And then we now come. The survey title, the caption, the inputs and all that. This is just for the forms. So you can change that there. But for the general font of the entire website, it is chosen somewhere else. We are going to come to that. So when you do all of this, make sure to save your work. I can now exit out of this area. And then you come to this other area, you look at, it shows you assets. So this is what you could call the holy grail of, the holy grail of Squarespace, because you can add your items here. Actually, it's not the holy grail. I'm going to show you some other area which you can use. You can add your assets here. You can upload files. You can upload videos and upload all of that. When we come to selling, this is all about e-commerce. So I'm using the free plan. I have 14 days left in this trial. So I'm not going to come to this for now. Let me just go through the other parts of the website. Let me click on edit website and then we'll come to that later on. Now to change the fonts for the entire website, we'll still come to site styles. And then when you see fonts here, we can just click on heading. And then you can change the fonts. Let's go to all fonts packs. It's going to load. You see, it has these font packs here. I just clicked on this and you see the Square tutorial heading they changed. I don't think I really like this. Well, it's good. We can use it, but let's explore the other ones. You see, if I click on this one, you see the heading there. It changes to this. So you see, these are font packs which you can use. If I click on this one, you can see the Square tutorial heading there changes in font too. But I think I will choose this one. It's quite good. And then I'll go back. Of course, you can always save your work here. Then the base size. If I increase the base size here, you see it increases the size of the font. I've changed it right up to 23. I'll bring it back to 17. And then the headings. It's now Omnes Pro. You can change the headings here to anything you desire. So Omnes Pro is chosen here, but you can browse all fonts. And let's say maybe you wanted to choose Dean Condensed. You see the headings now, they have changed, but the paragraphs are still the same. I think this one is also good, so you can choose anything. But let me just go back here and choose Omnes Pro. Omnes Pro. So I will choose Omnes Pro. Let's return to Omnes Pro. But the thickness has not changed, so we can choose the thickness from here. We can make this 900. You see, it becomes very, very thick. We can increase the line height. We can increase the letter spacing. And then the size of the heading one, we can increase it maybe to 6.3 EM. You see changes there. If I increase again, you see changes. So but I'm just going to leave it. So you can increase heading 2. This is heading 2. When I increase, it increases. I'll just bring it back to normal. Then heading 3 should be this. This is heading 3. You see, the more I change this, the more it increases. And then heading 4, we can leave that as it is. So we are done with the headings. You see, we can reset all the fonts here. Then for the paragraphs, we can change this maybe to pop-ins. Let me browse all paragraphs, all paragraph fonts. I can change this to pop-ins, not paragraph, sorry. Pop-ins. Pop-ins. So I think I'll just type that out. So you see it has changed here to pop-ins, but it is too light. So I'll come back here it's weight 100. I want to change it to maybe 300. You see sticker now. And then I want to change, you can also change the size. You can change the size. You can change, this is Poppins. Okay, yes. Then now you can make it smaller. I want to reduce the line height. I'm going to make it 0.17. And then the size, you can change it from here. Paragraph 1. Then this should be paragraph 2. This is paragraph 2. You can change the size. Let's just say 1.2 EMs. 1.2 EMs is good. And then we can go back to fonts and we click on save. Never forget to save your work. Let's go back still to styles. So we've already looked at headings. We've looked at forms. We've looked at accessories. Accessories, the animations and things like that. You can add fading. You can choose none. So there will be no animations. So, but we choose fading. So you see how the elements come in. You can choose scale. So you see the increase. You can choose slide. You see the sliding from up. And I think you can also change how the slide. You can change the speed, fast. You can choose clip. You see clips. You can choose flex. I think I will just choose fade. And I'll go back. And then, like I said, you save your work. Then the spacing of elements on your website. So, side margin. Let's say if you increase this, you see, once you increase it, the margins of this, they increase. Let me increase it again. You see the space between items, they increase. I just want to leave it to be as basic as it was before. You can reset all of this here. Go back to accessories, image blocks. Here you can customize the image blocks, the title separation. So it's 11% from the image block. If you reduce that, it's going to reduce the space between the title and the image block is going to be reduced. Then content positioning, center, alignment, left, and then image separation, 4%. I will just leave these ones the way they are, and I will come and I will save my work. Now, if I just exit out of this, we come back to this original page where we were. Now, mind you, I'm told that my trial ends in 14 days. Upgrade now to get the most out of your website. I will advise you to subscribe as soon as you can so that your trial doesn't end and you start getting problems, retrieving all the work you've done. In my case, I'm not going to be subscribing to Squarespace because this is just for tutorial purposes. And after this, I'm just going to let the website die on its own, so, sort of to speak. But, you get the point. I'll come back to home. But if I click on subscribe, you see it brings up the pricing table. You see for the personal website, it's going to cost you $16 per month. And this is the annual price. Mind you, this is the annual price. And it gives you quite a lot. You have SSL security, free custom domain, unlimited bandwidth, and all that. SSL is very, very important because if you don't have SSL installed, right now, even though I'm using just the Squarespace provisional domain, I still have SSL installed, which shows you how good Squarespace is. If you don't have SSL, the moment people come to your website, Google is going to tell them that the website is insecure, is not secure, and they are going to click off, especially if you have an e-commerce website. So you get professional email from Google, premium integrations and blogs, client invoicing, which is really, really important, customer accounts. Yes, people can create accounts, taxation fees, transaction fees for content, and membership sales. And then send unlimited products. No, you can't get this. You don't get this with a personal plan. You can't send unlimited products. Check out on your domain, access, donations, and all that. So if you have the personal plan and you want to create an e-commerce website, you have to redirect them to another page, maybe to pay, or you send them a link. Then you have the business plan, which is the most popular, which is going to set you back $23 per month. Now, the good thing about all of this is that you don't need to know custom name servers. You don't need to know how to connect domain, to buy hosting and all that. Squarespace gives you all those things right off the bat. You have SEO, you have contributors and all that. You can add contributors to your website, basic website metrics like page visitors, cookie sessions and all that. And then you can sell on your website, memberships, and then transaction fees for physical products, 3%. That's what Squarespace charges you. Unlimited products. You can accept donations and gift cards. Then you have the commerce basic. This is for people who want to have e-commerce websites. So it has everything that the other plans have, plus point of sale, that's POS, which is something which you can use if you have a physical location. And then products on Instagram, that's Instagram Shots, limited availability labels, that's limited offers and all that. Then you have the commerce advanced. This is for the big guys. And it gives you a lot of bandwidth, all of what you get in the other plans, plus, recurring subscriptions. If you want to sell maybe a SaaS product, and, or anything of that sort, and then you can get the APIs. So go ahead and select the plan which best suits you. If I were you, and if you don't want to sell products, I will go with this personal plan. For now, I'm just going to X out of this and continue with our website. If I should just choose this business plan here, it's going to tell me pay annually, which is going to cost me $23 a month. But if I choose to pay $36 a month, to pay monthly, it's going to cost me $36 a month. So I'll just choose this one. So in total, it's going to cost me $276. So I'll just put my address here. Let me just say main line or Main Street. Okay, I'm going to choose that, and then postal code. All of these are just dummy codes, so don't mind me. And I'll say save and continue. And then you can put your name here, and then you save and continue. When you click and continue, you'll be given the opportunity to choose your domain name. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing this because I'm not paying for anything. This is just for tutorial purposes. I'll X out of here, come back to my dashboard where I'm building. Now we are back on our dashboard, our editable screen. If I just click on edit here, you see, when you see this blue lined notation, this is a section. So this is an entire section here. And if I want to add another section on top of here, I'll simply click on this and it's going to add a blank section. And you can choose from pre-made layouts. This was what I wanted to tell you about the holy grail of Squarespace, where you can choose a lot of items. Now you can add a blank item, or you can add a saved section, a section which you had previously saved. We don't have any yet. And you can also choose presets like the intro, contact form, and things like that. So let me close this and I'll come back up here. For this section, let's say if I want to edit this section, I'll just bring my mouse over it and click on edit section. I can change the gap of the rows and you see it's going to stretch out the image, but I'm going to leave that. I'll leave it the way it is. Then you can also change the height. Here is medium. You can make it large. The height for this area. You can align it center. You can also align it to the top. You can align it to the bottom. It's going to give a lot of space here. Let me just leave this. If you make this height to be small, you see it makes it smaller. If you make it to be medium, it makes it medium. It increases. You make it large. You can even make it custom. And how do you do this? By increasing the height to your desired level. You can also change the picture here. You can change this picture. Let's say, how do you do that? So I'll just come to pexels.com and look for an image, and we are going to add there. I have downloaded a picture from pexels.com. It's a free stock photo website. So in case you need pictures, you can come here to pexels.com and download pictures. I just search for house interior. So I'll click on this image and it's going to bring up this button. I'll click on edit and you see our image here. I'll click on replace and I'll click on upload file. Then I'll just upload this. You see it's been replaced. It's uploading. So there you have it now. The image has changed. That is how you change pictures. You can also choose to add a video here instead. You could add a video here instead. Let me try to do that. I can now choose to add an overlay over this picture. Maybe it's too bright for my liking. I'll just come to design. Now, before that, you can attach a link here. So when they click, it takes them there. Take, for example, I could copy this link here and add it to this. So I'll just paste that link there. So whenever people click on that image, it's going to take them to this link on a new tab and hit enter. So you can add image alt text here for SEO purposes. Let's come to design. Now you can round the corners of this image section. You can round the corners. Let's say you want to round all the corners. I'll just click on round all the corners, and let's say I want to give it corner roundness of 20. If I hit on enter, you see the image is a bit rounded on the corners right now. Let me click off. You can see it's a bit rounded. Let me increase that and the roundness to maybe 100, and it's going to become more apparent. Let's come to the design. I'll hit enter. Now you see the roundness. You see the roundness is looking really, really apparent right now. So it's really rounded. Now this is really, really good of Squarespace. A lot of these things, if you're using WordPress, it becomes a lot more difficult. I'll click on edit again. Now let's come back to design and image effect. Now I want to add an overlay for the image effects. Now you can add these movements and all that. So you see, I really don't like this. I really don't like this. I don't know who needs this. If I click on this one, the image behaves kind of like a video. No, I don't like any of this. I'll just click on none. I'll go back. Then overlay. Let me go back to design. This is one thing with Squarespace. If you click to go to a section and you want to come back, it takes you to the beginning. I think they really need to fix that. Then I'll click on overlay. So you can choose the color you want to overlay this with. I want it to be totally black. So I'll choose that. Let's say custom. I want it to be totally black. I'll choose that. Totally black, which is 000. But now you can choose the transparency. So just slide this. If you want it to be really dark, you can bring it far right. If you want it to just be mild, you can bring it around the center. So that's the overlay. And the color was supposed to be black. Okay, that's because of the overlay. And then the blend mode, you can choose any of those. I'm not going to belabor that. Another thing you can do is that you can add a text block on top of this, the way you see it on most websites. Let's click on add block, and then I'll click on text. Or let's say maybe you wanted to add a heading. I think you're still going to click on text, but this time around, you are going to choose, it's going to be not a paragraph, but a heading. Let's see heading 1. And of course, we already chose the heading 1 font, which was, I think, is it Amos or something of that sort. And let's just say, I want it to say, welcome. Welcome. Now, I will drag it to the middle. This is the good thing about Squarespace, just dragging elements to any area you desire. You can do this on WordPress. Now, I'll stretch this, and I can also stretch this. And then I want to center this. When you see this yellow line, it shows you if you are centered. I will highlight it, and I want to change the color to, let's see if I change it to this. Well, it looks good, but it could be better. Then I will duplicate this, right click, just click on it, and then you see these two boxes overlapping each other. Duplicate and say, enjoy your stay. Enjoy your stay. But this time around, I want this to be white, and then I want the heading to be, let's say, heading 3, or I can make this a paragraph. Let's say paragraph. Yes, I don't want it to be everything to be a heading. I'll reduce this box, the size. Let's just see. I'm going to reduce the size of the box. Then if I stretch it out now, it's going to increase the size. That didn't work quite well. But what I can do is that I can click here, and this where you see here is going to make this text to scale to the size of the box. So that is that. But maybe it's too big. I want to reduce now. So when I reduce now, it's going to scale to the size of the box. I can now center this. I can now center that. And then you can go ahead and edit. Maybe you want the background of this to be different, or you just want to edit the text itself. You want to make it bold, or you want to make it italicized, and things like that. So that is all up to you. So you can leave it that way. You can also go ahead and add a button under here. But you notice that when we add all of these items, they increase the size of this box. So you can make the box thinner by just dragging and scaling it up, or scaling it down rather. If I can still click here, I drag and I reduce it. So it makes it thinner. Maybe we don't want too much of this image to be shown. I can now drag this item on top. I will drag this one too on top. And then I can add a button underneath. I'll just click here. I want to look for the add block. I'll click there. And I want to add a button. So this button automatically comes as a preset of this website. So you can change this button. I'll click here and click on edit. And for design, let's say you want to see contact us. You want to say contact us. You see changes there. For the design, you can make this a primary button. You can make this a secondary button. Let's just choose it to be the primary button. And you can edit the button styles. You can edit the button styles here. And let's say you want this primary button to look different. The text is Omnes Pro. You can change the text of this primary button to something else. Let's say you want it to be Poppins. It has changed to Poppins. And then the weight should be 800. That is that you're changing that. So you can also change a lot of things about this. You can change a lot of things about this. For the color, you have to go back to the color style preset and change it from there. You can also change the secondary buttons to be something else. So if I come to this primary button, the outline, you see it's very faint, but you can change it to maybe be 1px. You can make it thicker. You can make it thicker and thicker. And then the padding inside, you can change that. I'm just going to save that, and then I will go back to my page. So if you wanted to change the color for this, you are going to click here and change that. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. So I'm going to come back to my page. Now, what if you wanted to add, as it were, a new section? Before we do that, I see some white space here. What I can simply do is, I'll just drag these items on top. And then I'll drag this one too up. And I'll also drag this one up. Projects. Okay, this is on another section. For me to reduce this space under, you see this button, which is like an arrow with two sides. I'll just click drag and reduce this. So we don't have that much space anymore. And maybe this is too far to the left. I'll drag it to the right. So it's just click, drag, and drop. I could also add a blank section. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on add section. So it's going to give me all of these options. I can add this. I can add all of that. You can add the about us. It gives you this about us. It gives you these people. This is actually what you call your team. Maybe you want to add your team members. If you have products, you can add them. Services. But in our case, I just want to add a blank section. So you see this blank section here. Depending on your color scheme, the background of this blank section will be different. So what I want to do is that I want to add, first of all, a heading. I want to add text. And I want to make it heading. Let's say heading 2. And see our services. Let me click on that again. Our services. our services. Now I'll stretch this button here, and then I'll just drag it to the middle, and then I want to reduce the bottom padding. So now that we have our services here, I want to add other subheadings. Like, what are our services? I'll just duplicate this, just click on it, and I'll click on duplicate, and then I want to drag this to the right, or to the left rather. And when I drag that to the left, I want to change it to be heading 4. Or let's just say I want it to be paragraph 1, but I'm going to make it bigger. So I'm going to reduce that container. Then I want to fit the text into that container. And then I also want to make this to be bold. And then I want to reduce this bottom. Okay, since there is not much space on the left, I can't reduce that. I will drag this and bring it here. And I want to see, let's say, web design. Don't worry, it's going to enlarge, but it's still going to reduce. And then I want to duplicate this. I will bring this to the middle. I will see SEO, but you see it's already being too large, so I can reduce that. Just drag it, and I've reduced it. I'll reduce it again. Not that. So this is one thing which baffles me sometimes about Squarespace: the ability to reduce something to with precision. This is one of the things you're going to have to deal with when you're using Squarespace. Let me remove this here, and then I'll reduce this to this, and then I can see. So what we are going to do is that we want to add another text editor down here. I'll just click on add block, and I'll add text. I'll bring it here, down here, and then I want to get some lorem ipsum text and add it inside there. I'll just copy probably just one line, one sentence rather. I'll copy that and put it here. I'll paste it inside. I can reduce the text size. Let's say I just reduce this to align under here, and then I can make this to align center. Then I'll just duplicate this. Since it's just dummy text, I'll duplicate this, drag this here, and I'll do the same here. So there we have it. Perhaps I discovered that this is too close to the edges. If we were using wicks, we'll discover that it's going to give us an indication that we are out of the page. I will do this, and the same for this text here. I will drag it here, and then also drag this one. So that is that. So this is how you add text to, headings and related text to your website. So that is that. We can also add a lot more. If we add a section here, we can add, let's say, we want to add our team members. I'll click on people, and then I'll just click and add this one. It's going to add here. So from here, you can change the pictures. If I click on edit content, come to content, you can change the pictures here, because this is actually a slider. You can see this button here. You can click and change the pictures. So it's used the same pictures, but you can change them to your liking. Let's take a look at the other elements we can add. We will add a section here. So you have contact, you have all of these images, videos, menus, forms, charts. So I want to add something like a video here. I'll click there and it gives me these formats, with these pre-made designs. I want to add just a single video. So I'll just use this one. I'll click on that template and it's going to add a video here. I can change this video. I'll just click on it and click on edit. I can change this video from here. I'll click on replace and then I will click to upload the file. So I already downloaded this video. One of them is too heavy. I'll use a smaller one. I'll click on open. It's taking its time and slowly. The video has loaded. So here it is. I can play it. I can play it from here. I'll first of all have to remove that button there. Let me preview this and play it. I'll save first. I'm getting a glitch here. I don't know what's happening, if it's my internet connection or something else. Okay, it's being saved right now. If I click on play, I clicked on exit. So if I play it now, you can see the video playing. So that is the video playing. It's the video of a very beautiful interior of a house. I will now come back to edit. I want to show us some more elements which we can add. So here is a video. And if I click on this section, this video section, you can see you can do a lot here. If I click on edit, still on the video, you see you can mute the video and you can allow it to autoplay. You can loop the video too. And then you can show controls. These are the controls you see here. You see them down on this area here. This box is actually covering them. So that is what you can do for a video. So I can also go ahead. These are the controls here. I can also add, maybe if I don't want this section, I can just delete this. Yes. I'll remove this block from here. So I just want the video. I want just the video with nothing else. These are the controls. I can also add a section here. Let's say I want to add something like testimonials. So there is a way you can add this kind of testimonials. You can add the testimonials this way, but this is the conventional way of adding testimonials. Nowadays, I see a lot of websites which use things like this or other scrollable blocks of testimonials like this one. But I'll prefer to use this one. This will be the testimonials. You notice that the images are the same. It's because we are just doing a test. Obviously, if we're doing a live website, we'll change these testimonials. So you can click here to edit the content of these testimonials and come to content. So for all of these, each of these, you click here and you edit. You can change the pictures with the pictures of the actual people. And then with these controls, you can determine which part of the face shows. Maybe you want to show just the side, you do it there. I'll just leave it to the middle and then I'll go back. So that's how you treat testimonials. Then you can add a button to each of them and you can show the title, you can hide the title, you can hide images and just leave the testimonials the way they are. You can show body or hide the body. So look at that's the name. And then for content and design. For the carousel, you can change it maybe to show a banner slideshow. So each of them is going to be shown in this manner. And then you can also decide whether it's full or it's bleed. And then for the style, you can come down and you can add a card. So the text is going to be shown on a card. I will turn that off. And then you can change the padding of the card. I'll go back. So I want to make this to be, let's go back to the design. Let's say full bleed. Click on insert. And then I want to make it to be a carousel. Now, you can also make it to be a simple list. You see, these are testimonials. But it looks a lot like the staff or the staff list. So I'm going to change it back to maybe a carousel. Not banner carousel, but carousel. So those are the number of things you can do. You can also increase the number of columns to 4. So instead of 3 testimonials being shown, it will be 4. And then you can show adjacent slides so that the slides which are yet to show, they are being part of it is being shown. I will turn that off so that only those which are showing should show. Then the sizes and spaces. So you can change that here. You can tweak all of these here. We're not going to belabor that. And I want to show you how to add, add another section. In this case, we can also add forms. Let's click on forms. We can add our own new form. I'll click on this one. Let's work together. Let's say you want to have a booking form either on the home page or on another page. You can easily add that here. So you can see for this one, we had already determined the presets for a form, but you can change it from here. So let's click on edit section. You can change this text here, but let's click here and click on edit. So for the name of the form, you can leave that the same because it's not being shown. Edit form fields. You can do that here. You can remove the form fields which you do not like. Maybe you don't want to have this, want to have these sections, or if you see what services are you interested in, let's come here and you can add options. Let's come to the options. You can add options and see here, you want to add option 4. So you now see there are 4 options. So these are the options and you can click on edit. You can remove whichever option you don't want. And you can make this a required field. So you see, it shows us this required badge there. You can do that for any of these fields. You can change whatever you want there. Let's go to the design of the entire form. Let's see, we want this to look a little bit different. Okay, so for the form style, let's click on this drop down. And it's going to give us, wait a minute, let me scroll a little bit up. For the form style, it gives us this style. Let's say we click here and choose this one. It has changed the form. So we no longer have that background for the fields. I'll go back to edit section. No, let me click back here and edit. So let's go back to design and we can change this back. Maybe we want it to be this way. The button should be rounded and filled. Now you see for that particular layout which we chose, now the options are horizontal, not vertical as they were. If we click back here, it takes it back the way it was, but not really the same because the checkboxes are now square. And if I go back to, this is the original layout. This is the original layout of the forms. So you can also toggle on the background. So it's going to make the background to be thicker and you can change the background color here. Let's say we want it to be black, something blackish, but the text doesn't really show, so we can use this color. So you see, this is the color of the form right now. This is where you do your branding. This is where you do your branding. So any other thing, you can do that. You can also change the roundness of the forms, of the corners of the forms. Let's say you want to change this, you don't want them to be too round, you can change that from there. You can also use some blur, add some blur. You can see it on the background. And then there is a lot you can do. So we can go to the content, then post submit. Post submit. You can add a redirect here and you can change the message. So when somebody submits a form, you say, thank you for contacting us. I'll change that a little bit. Contacting us. So that should be your thank you message. And then you can also add the redirect so that it redirects them to another page. Maybe you want it to redirect them to your, let's say your appointment booking page or something else, or Calendly page, when they fill in this form, they can choose a date on Calendly. You can add it here. And you can also choose one of these available pages which are on the menu. Just insert that there and click on OK. Click on OK. So that is inserted. So when somebody fills this form, it's going to take them, show them this message, and it's going to redirect them to this page. That is that about adding forms. There is a lot more we can do on Squarespace. If I click and add a section, you can also add charts. Let's click on charts. Let's say you want to represent some information. This is something which I don't know. There are quite, if you're using WordPress, there are quite some plugins which give this, but in Squarespace, it is inbuilt. So let's look at this one. Let's add that there. So right off the bat, it gives us this chart. You can represent your own information here. I'll click on this and click on edit. So it's a bar chart, obviously, and you can change these fields here. You can change this to, let me just see, Lagos, and then represent your information. Let me click back there and edit. Let me click back there and edit. Can change the values. Let's see, 350. And you see, obviously, the chart has changed. And then you can also change the design of the chart. You can flip the X and the Y axis. And then come to the design of the chart. You can choose the color palette. It's now grayscale. Let's select primary. So you see the colors have changed. And this is quite a better representation of that chart. It makes it pop, the show clearly, and it catches the attention. You can also make this a line chart. Maybe you want to represent some information. So it's now a line chart. You can also make it a pie chart. You see it's going to change here. I'm going to turn this off. So you see this is a pie chart. And, it shows us this information very graphically. What I also want to do is I'll just come back and make it a bar chart. So you see the information is going to be represented on the bar chart. And if I click on this flip X and Y axis, so you see population and all that. So, but I just want to leave it the way it is. So you can also add other cities. Let's just see Yaoundé, and then see maybe 420. So here we have it. We now have a chart with 4 representations. You can also import and export, chart information in a CSV document. This is one thing which is almost exclusive to Squarespace. WordPress has other plugins which do this. I've done it for some clients, but in Squarespace, it is actually inbuilt. Just go ahead and save your work so that you don't lose anything in case maybe your computer goes off and it's saving. Now, peradventure, or maybe you don't like the background color of any section. Let's say maybe you don't like the background color of this one. Just come and click here and click on edit section and then come to colors. You can select from this color scheme here. Let's say you just want this to be this color. You see it's changed there, and even the buttons, they've changed. Come back and click here, and maybe you want to change this content. You can click here and then go to content, and you see the different pictures, these slider pictures. They can't slide now. Okay, it's actually sliding. You can click on edit content and change any of these. You can change any of these, pictures. You can add pictures. Maybe you want it to be more than this. Let me click on add, and then I'll have to upload. I may not even need to upload. I'll just use the picture which I had uploaded. So I'll use this. I want to add this there. Add. So they are now going to be 4 pictures sliding. You see this one has added. So that's how you add. That's how you change the background of any section in Squarespace. Now let's say you build this section, but you discover that you wanted it to come before this theme section. What you simply need to do is just to click on the section and then click on this arrow up, and it's going to move it ahead. First of all, it moves it ahead of this topic. Then you can click again and it's going to move it on top. So you see it has moved it on top. but want to bring this heading also, want to bring it up to match with the section that is supposed to apply to. And then I'll click on that and it also comes up. So you can move things up and down. You can move things up and down. Actually, I mistakenly moved it down instead. Let me click on this. So I've moved that to the top of this section. Now we want to go to editing the header and the footer of this website. So I'll scroll up. Now if you see here, when I bring my mouse over this header here, it shows me edit site header. I'll just click on it. And then it's going to bring me, it's going to say edit design. I'll click on that. It gives us this layout. This is the layout we're currently using, but we can change it if we don't like. So with this layout, you see the header menu is to the right. If I click on this one, you see it centers. And if I also click on this one, you see it kind of centers more, aligns center more. I'll just go with this one, with this particular one. You can also change your logo. You can also change your logo. So you can add a drop shadow if you want. You can add the drop shadow here if you want, and you can choose the distance. You can choose the distance. You can choose blurring. Come back. You can also adjust the height of this header. You see, when I increase the height, you can see it changes up there. So you will want to change that as much as to as big as you want. I think it gives it a lot more breathing space there. So that is what I'm going to do. And then the spacing of these items, you can change it here. The element spacing, that's it, you can change it there. And the borders, you can also change the borders here. Here we have it as black, but you can make it, let's say, transparent. You don't want it to be black, you just want it to be transparent. You can add that there. And then please don't forget to save your work when you are done. You can also change the color of this header. Now it's adaptive, so when I scroll down, it's going to become kind of transparent. You can change it to gradient, and then you can choose the gradient colors. So it's going to be 2 colors. So look at how it shows. That's the palette. Or I can choose my own custom gradient color. So you see it's now pinkish kind of. I'll come back to the palette and I'll make it to be this. So that's for the gradient. And the opacity, let's just see, is going to be something like 41. And then you can blur the background. It's not going to really show that much here because the background was already kind of a dark color. And then you can make it to be solid, the color to be solid. That's that. So the navigation color is going to be this. Let's just say navigation color is going to be that greenish there. And then the background color, forgive me. And then the background color, I want to make it to be black. So that is that. And that is, if you look here, you notice that this is kind of, this text has a background, a black background color. Then you can add a blur there. It doesn't show that much because of the colors, like I said, but it's there. So we can come back to design. You can just play around with all of this. You can also add elements to this header. I'll just click on add element and I'm going to click on this button. You can also add a language switcher. You need to go to multi-language settings and add it there, and it's going to show up here. But I don't want to do that for now. You can also add your cart button so that when you add e-commerce products, it's going to show you if somebody adds a product to their cart. You can also add account so that if it's a membership website, this login button shows here. I'll just, I will just work with this button. So for this, it's going to have the design which you had set, the pre-made design for your button elements. And so you can go and change it on the general button settings. Now I close that button. I want to edit each of these elements individually. This is a site title and logo. I'll just click on this. And this edit button comes. You can upload your logo here if you have one. So you can just upload any picture which you can use as your logo. You can also edit this this text here. Maybe you want to add another page, show pages. You have to save and then you'll be able to go and add another page. So I'll just click on exit. Now I'll come back to edit. I didn't know it was going to take me to this page. I want to come back to edit. Unfortunately, I did not save my work, so everything has gone back to factory settings for the header. But let me just go back and add the button. So I can change the button color here. I can change the button attributes. If I click here, it brings up this. So you see this, I can first of all link it to a particular page. Maybe I have a page for appointments. You see it's linked there. And then you see when I click on it, it takes me to the page, even though the page does not exist yet. But under normal circumstances, that is how it will be. And then if I click on this edit button, you see this is it. I can now design it. I can change the button style. Let's say I want this to be the design of the tertiary button. I will change that there. Or you can edit button styles and then choose your particular style which you want. But the reason it's showing the way it is because this is the design we are chosen from the beginning. You can change that at your convenience. So I will not change this. I'll just save. And then I want to close out of that. Now let's go and edit the footer. I'll just go down, drag my mouse down and click on edit site footer. You see, it already brings us this pop here. We can change the color, edit section, and the background. You can add anything to the background. You can also change the color of the footer. Yes, change that. Then maybe I want to make this text to now be black. Okay, this is actually a picture. You can upload any picture you desire here. And then you can also add other elements. You can add blocks here. Let's say I don't want this to be too tall. I can drag this image on top, thereby reducing the space under here. Or what I can do is that I can also drag this. I can drag this text and bring it here. And then I can drag this image to this side. It still shows beautifully. So you see, maybe if I want some more spacing on top of here, I can drag these two elements. I can drag this one down to blend with this one. And then I'll drag this one down. And then if I choose to, I can add other elements here. Or if I choose not to, I can simply reduce the space under. So I've made the footer to be flatter. The footer to be flatter. That's actually some good language there, some good writing scheme. You can clap for me if you're listening to me. So that is that about the site footer. You can add a lot of elements here. You can add some blocks here. You can add an image. Let's say another image. Yes, you can add an image here. I will drag this a little bit under. And then you can add any picture here. Let me just use the picture which we've been using. I'll add this image here. So that's a footer for you. And what if I just drag this other picture to meet with this one down here? And then I want to reduce the padding, the bottom padding of this picture. So this is this. You can make this to be bold. You can make all of this to be bold. You can also make all of this to be bold. That is that. And then, of course, save your work. So there you have it. Those are the basics of editing the content of a Wix website. I'll just go ahead and click and exit. And then I'll go to home. So on this side, you see we have a lot here. We have a lot here. We've talked about pages, how to add items to menus. We've talked about styles. Let's go over assets a little bit more. So this is where you see all what you've uploaded, and under trash, you're going to see all what you've deleted, so that you may want to restore some of them back to the website. Taking a step back to our pages, you see, we have these pages which are existing pages. If we want to add a new page to the navigation menu, we'll just click on this plus button here. So you can either add a blank page, add a page layout, add the scheduling page, maybe like booking appointments or classes, or you can add a blog, that's your blog post. You can add your store, like your products, or your portfolio, your past websites, events. You can add a video or a library of videos, and you can add your courses. You can also add, content that will be for members only, and you can add a drop down. You can also add a link. So it gives you a lot of versatility in terms of what you can add. Let's say I want to add something like a scheduling page. I'll just click on this, and it's going to bring me layouts for scheduling page, just basic scheduling, like people booking appointments and things like that. I'm going to choose, let's just say this very basic one. So that's it. Let's say appointments. And I'll save that. Now you can choose to, change the labeling of this and see book call or consultancy or whatever. And that's the link. And then you enable the page. You can give this page a password. So only those with this password can be able to access this page. Let's just click on that, and then I'll come back here. Let me cancel and click on save. So that page comes up now. So you see, it's more or less just a basic page. With this, you can change all of this here. I'll click on edit. Most often, I think almost always, this booking appointment functionality is a premium functionality. So I'll just click here and try to edit. It's going to bring up his content, and it's going to tell me, get started with acuity scheduling. Allow visitors to directly book appointments. I'll click on setup. Now this is a premium functionality. So if you don't have the premium version of Squarespace, you will not be able to use this. So it brings me to this page. I just need to fill in all this information. I'll see yes, appointment type one-on-one. Let's say consultation. The duration, let's just say 30 minutes. And then the price, let's just say is $40 or $49. And I'll say create appointment type. So I've created an appointment type. Design your scheduling page. Let's just say we will do it. It will be daily. My industry, I could see accounting. My logo, I could insert my logo here, and I could write anything. Let me just copy some lorem ipsum text and add it here. I'll copy this and add it here. I'll add that there. And then week starts on Sunday. Time format, I'll leave it the same. And then all of this, I'll leave them the same. I'll click on Save Changes. And it takes me to this next page. I don't want to add all of this. So, I'm on this page. I can now click on Scheduling Options. Now, if I click on View Live, the page live is going to show me how people are going to see it, those who want to book appointments. Now, let me come to scheduling page options. Show schedule another appointment button. Yes, I'm going to show that. If I click on this and I come here, I can choose my time and all that. You can change your date in accordance to your time schedule. Hide at another time, require phone number, let's just say yes. Disable client login and registration. No, I'll leave that. Hide duration. No, I'm going to leave that. Hide prices. Maybe you don't want people to be discouraged and click off. You can hide the prices, collapse categories. I'm going to leave it the way it is. Services, hide spots left. No, I want them to see spots left. Classes, hide spots left. No, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'll click on Save Changes. And it loads and comes back. Let's come back to appearance. Appearance. So you can see it here. It shows the daily appearance. And Sundays, week starts on Sunday. Time format. Let's just say 24 hours. And then we can save changes. So if I come here and I reload this page, I click on, let's just say, consultation book. And it shows me here one spot left and all that. So that is how to customize this appointment scheduling page. Let's come back to scheduling. What else is left? Set availability. Okay, yes. We can set availability here. Let's just say Sundays we work and all that. Saturdays we also work. And you can also add, maybe you have 2 sessions on Saturday, maybe 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Then from, let's say, 1 p.m. you have somebody else coming to, let's say, 9 p.m. on Saturdays, because people are not working. So you want that day to be the day when you serve the most clients. So if I click on enter, what else have I not entered? Now I'm going to remove this. That's why this button was grayed out. I'll save. You can add additional features if you want. Enable payment for bookings and deposits and subscriptions. If I click here, I'll set up payment processors. You have Stripe, you have Square, you have PayPal. So it's very easy. Just click on connect and it's going to show you this form. You can fill it with your Stripe credentials, and then you can just go ahead and it's going to be ready for you to use. I'm not going to do that. Then you can collect full payment or partial payment. All that depends on you. Collect deposit or full payment. And then if you say full payment, let's just say deposit amount. You want to collect a deposit amount like 50% upfront or 80% upfront, and then they pay the rest when they come to your location. Clients can also have the ability to pay the full amount. Clients can tip when they pay in full. Yes, they can tip. Maybe you just add a tip there, and then you want to collect and save card details. Yes, you can add that. Or let's just go with this because they are mutually exclusive. You can also say payment is not required, and then you save changes. But for this to be effective, you are going to have connected either Stripe, PayPal, or Square for this to be functional. Now, one thing you should know is that this scheduling functionality in Squarespace is not free. Acuity is not free. So look at view plans and upgrade now. For this to be functional, you need to upgrade. So you either need the emerging or the growing or the powerhouse. This is different from your normal Squarespace subscription. This is just for Acuity. So mind you, if you're going to use this, then you better be ready to pay the price. If I should just close this and come back down here to this part, we have a lot we can explore here. Now, you have clients. You can see your client list here for all those who have booked. Now, we see this mark test, Jane mark test. You can import or export bookings from maybe different websites. And then you can issue invoices. When you connect your payment gateway, then you're going to be able to see, to create and issue invoices to clients. You can also see reports here. So you're going to see the reports for the bookings. You'll see your revenues. So this is a built-in, a full-blown CRM that you see here. You see users, intake forms, tips for those, because remember, we configured the system whereby any client can offer a tip to the person attending to them. Then you can see scheduling page link, which means you can send this link to external people who maybe not be coming to your website yet, but you can share it on social media. You share it through WhatsApp, through text message, by email, so that anybody can schedule an appointment. Then you can customize the appearance from here. We already went through that. Now let's come a little bit down. I want to look at integrations. Now, before then, look at this. You can create different types of appointments here, and you can also use add-ons. You can create add-ons to use for your appointments. You can also issue coupons. If I should come back there for one moment, you can also issue coupons, which when your clients use, it gives them discounts. Then, if I come here, I want to look at integrations. Now, packages, gifts, and subscriptions here. You can create packages. You can create subscriptions. Subscriptions now will carry recurring payments, maybe $9 a month, and you get 1 hour of counseling, or $10 a month or $20 a month, and you get 30 minutes of counseling maybe every week. So you can do that. It's also a very, very good model. So you can create subscriptions here, and you're going to be able to see your subscribers here. I will now come back and integrations. This is what I really wanted to look at. You can set up QuickBooks, FreshBooks. Both of these are for accounting purposes. Then you can set up email using Squarespace has their own built-in email provider. Then you also have MailChimp, which is very popular. Aweber, ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, and all that. So if you go to, let's say, a Squarespace email, if you click on setup, it's loading. Now it brings up this pop-up which says connect to Squarespace campaigns. So if I click on this, it's loading. So I can go ahead and create a campaign here. I can create a campaign here. Squarespace campaigns, select a list, default, add clients, and then you can just go, and you are going to have to go to your intake forms so that you can create the form which clients will fill in order to be able to build your email list. I'm not going to do that for now. I just wanted to do a little bit of a demo. Then you come down, you see Drip, all of these, they are for email marketing, Google Analytics, and of course, these are for analytics. You can import your contacts. You can also integrate Salesforce, Infusionsoft, Pipedrive. There is a lot you can integrate here. Then sync with other calendars. You can sync your Google Calendar here. You can also sync your iCloud calendar, your Outlook Office 365, your Outlook Exchange, Outlook.com, and one-way calendar sync. I want to believe you can use iCal in order to do the calendar synchronization. If I should come back and I come to payment settings here, we see the same Stripe, Square, PayPal. These are the ways through which you can receive payments from your clients. And I want to go back to the home page. We haven't touched on marketing yet, and it's quite a big one. If I click on marketing, you see right off the bat, it gives me two options. The first one is email campaigns. The second one is email tools, or marketing tools rather. So it tells you convert site visitors into loyal customers, and that is going to be through email marketing. You can grow your audience by giving them a way to subscribe. You can import existing email subscribers. You can add a promotional pop-up to your website. It means you can create a pop-up for your website. Let's try to do this. So a pop-up is going to be there, and whenever a client visits your website, they are going to be prompted to add in their email address or something of that sort. So you see, this is just a sample. This is a demo, and it gives us this pop-up. You can customize it, and first of all, you want to toggle on this display pop-up. And mind you, it's a premium feature, so we are just doing it for demonstration, but it's not going to actually work. Then you can put the actions. Now, first of all, let me come to layout. You can change the layout. You can change the layout here. You can use any of these pre-made layouts. I'll just choose to go with this one. I'll come back a little bit, click on action, And this is how you want to display how the pop-up is going to behave. So is it going to be a sign up for a newsletter, or is it going to be a click button, which you're going to configure here? So when I choose on click button, you see the newsletter field disappears. But I want this to be a newsletter because the whole idea is to convert visitors to paying clients or to loyal members. Then you can change all of this here. Email field, you can change all of that there. Storage. So you can choose your storage. You now get the ability to connect to any service you want to use. You can use a Squarespace. You can connect to any other service like MailChimp or Google Drive. So the choice is yours. Then for verification, you can set up a confirmation email, and then you can also turn on reCAPTCHA so that it's going to make sure it's not robots that are submitting forms. Then post submit. Yes, after that, you can also customize the thank you message here. Here, unfortunately, you can't do a redirect, but you can even customize it here using HTML. So I'll click on save. I want to come back a little bit. Now, let me come to content. Content, you can change this text here. So if I delete this, you see it's deleting. You can change the text here. You can also change the text on the body here. And then you can come back a little bit. I'll click on stay. If I come back a little bit, and unfortunately I'll go back to promotional pop-up. If I come now to style or display and timing, now you can display how this is shown. You can choose how this is displayed rather. It should be maybe on certain pages, and then you choose the particular pages from here, or you want it to be only on the first page, the visit. And you can choose the timing, let it appear after 10 seconds of the user being on your page. And then how frequently should it be displayed? Maybe in 30 days, once every 30 days, or maybe in 1 week. You can choose to do that here. And you can also reset this. I'll just click on save. I'll now go back a little bit. If I come now to this style tab, I'll say leave. I can change the style here. You can change the fonts here. You can make this to be 900. You see it's now thicker, a lot bolder. You can change the color to be red as you so desire. You can make it blue, or this very nice color which I like so much. You can customize all of these from here. Even the input field, all of these, the hover color, you can change that. The text color when someone is typing, you can change that. And you can reset if you are not satisfied. So I'll go back to save. And I want to go back a little bit. And if I go back a little bit to website tools. Okay. So we also saw announcement bar. So announcement bar usually appears on top of here. If we click on that, want to enable announcement bar, so you can put an announcement here. Maybe you're running a discount or a coupon or something of that sort. You can put this here. I hope you're beginning to see the scale of how user-friendly and how versatile Squarespace is. Then you can also add a mobile information bar that you can do from there. Announcement bar, promotional pop-up, mobile information bar. You can add custom CSS to your website here. I'll go back a little bit. And if I come back here, if I go back a little bit, this is one thing Squarespace really needs to improve. Their user flow. When you go to a page and you want to return, sometimes it takes you back to the base. I'll come back here and I want to go to email campaigns. And my page is loading. So right off the bat, you already get, some templates you can use. These are getting started with campaigns. You can click here and select an email template. It gives you some pre-built templates and you can filter them by whatsoever you desire. Let's say you want to promote a product or a service. This is going to be an email template which you can use. And you want to promote a class or an event, it gives you this. Now, marketing best practices will tell you this. As good as these templates are, people are getting weary of these well-designed templates. The moment you send an email and they see this, they already throw it into spam. They know it's a promo. So sometimes it's better to write text, just text. But if you choose to go with one of these, as you click on this, it brings you here and you can use this template. Just click on use template. It's loading. You can change these pictures, these items here. So if I click on this, you can replace this. I think this is a design. It's a picture. So you can replace that. You can change this text here. Maybe you want it to be August 29th. You can change the text here too. And then you can change what this button says. You can even change the color of the button. You can make it brown. And then, of course, this is just a design. It's an image. You can change the background of the entire design. You can make it purple. And then, this unsubscribe powered by Squarespace. You can change the text there too. So, I will just go back. Take for example now your email. You can configure the email, configure recipients, configure sender and everything there, and say send to recipients right from here. Here you're just going to import your list, your legal address. You're going to configure that. Schedule. You can schedule this for immediately. You can send this immediately, or you can schedule it for another date. So, but I'll just leave it to immediately, and then I'll go back to my page. Then, of course, to complete the setup, you want to add sender details. You want to add verification options too. And then I'll go back. So that is basically it for email campaigns using Squarespace. You can create a new email campaign that's created from scratch. You want to be regular. That's just an email blast. Then you can automate your thank you email when people subscribe. You can also automate your welcome email. Let's just say regular. You can configure this from here. You can use this, or you can start from blank. It's all the same thing. You start with your brand name and it gives you a template, it gives you guidance on how to go about it. Coming back to our beginner interface, there are other tools which you may not see right off the bat here. Of course, you see analytics. That one, we don't need to belabor that. If I come to my settings and I click here, you see there is a lot I can do here. Take, for example, site availability. It's still private. For me to publish this website, I'm going to have to buy a plan. I'm going to have to choose one of the OS Squarespace plans. And of course, I'll not do that now. Domains and email. You can get your domain from here. You can use a domain you bought maybe from Namecheap or GoDaddy. You can get a domain directly from Squarespace. If I come to selling, you can choose put your business information here, your phone number, your email, your location, and your Google Maps coordinates. You can also put your opening hours. You can configure them here. And then your brand identity. I don't want to use AI. You can put your description here, and then you can add a preview. Let's go to marketing. SEO appearance. Of course, what's the point of having a website if you're not being found on Google? So they have an SEO checklist here. Then you can connect your Google Search Console in order to get keywords which you use for your website. I'll come back here. And then you can also hire an expert. So you can configure your SEO here, just the description of your website. Then third-party tools, you can connect certain accounts here. Connect an account, you can connect Facebook, you can connect Google Search Console, you can connect LinkedIn, you can connect Pinterest, you can connect Tumblr, you can connect ChowNow, whatever that is, Instagram, and Foursquare Swan. You can connect all of those here. Permissions and ownership, you can also grant access maybe to your developer. You can just invite them as a contributor. Several times, when I work for clients, they it grants me invitations to Squarespace you just add the person's name and email address here. What rights do you want to give them? Do you want to give them administrative rights? It means they can change everything. They can access everything on your website. Maybe you just want them to be an editor. You can put that there, but they will not be able to create pages and all that. You want to give them access to analytics. You want them to be comment moderator. You want them to be a viewer. You want them to manage your e-commerce store. Yes, you can do that. What about email campaigns? Yes, they can monitor your email campaigns. So Squarespace has thought of everything you may need. Then billing, of course, we already did that. Developer tools. This is where you grant access to your developer to make high-end changes. Metadata importing, external, you want to connect to an API. Maybe you go to a website like Rapid API and you get an API from there. You want to integrate it into your website. This is where all of that happens. I can now close this, and if I come to engagement, this is still under analytics. You can see who has visited your website and all that. You can also see your sales, how much sales you've been making on your website. Now let's go to selling. Of course, not everyone is going to be selling any product on Squarespace. This is only for those who want to run an e-commerce business. Now, Squarespace has a lot of inbuilt selling tools. First of all, let's go to products. Here you can add either physical products, services, digital downloads, gift cards. You can create a membership site, a video on demand website whereby you upload your videos and anybody can, watch them by paying for them to be led through the paywall. You can, of course, we've configured equity scheduling. You can also sell courses on Squarespace. This is absolutely ridiculous that you can sell courses on Squarespace. It means you don't need to pay for Kajabi or any of those expensive course platforms. You can also create a blog on Squarespace. I'm going to do a separate video for each of these, how to sell digital downloads on Squarespace, video on demand, membership site, sell services. I'm going to do a separate video on each of these. But let's just go with physical products. It's loading. Now I can give my first product a name. Let's just say sophisticated. I hope I spelled that correctly. I'll click here to add an image and I'm going to upload the image. I'll upload this. And it's uploading. Okay, so that's the image for my product. I'll go to next. The price, let's just say 31.99. Just so you know, this is an actual product on my website. If you go to donodio.com, this is just an aside. I sell these amazing brands of coffee. You are not going to find them anywhere else. So go to donodio.com and buy my coffee. You are helping me. And then the stock. Let's see how much is in stock. No, not unlimited stock. I want to say maybe there are 5 of these. You can add more details. I'll just come to lorem ipsum. What is this? And I want to copy back options. Sorry. Can I just reject all? So I've copied that. I'll add that here. So that's just lorem ipsum text. You can also add other images here. You can add images here. You can add, make this to be on sale. And you can change the SQ here. And for variants, you can add another variant. I'm going to, you can select, let's just say by option and by color and click on save. So you can add a variant. Maybe it has different colors of the same product. Product add-ons, you can make this a featured product. And you can also add related products here if you have any. And then you can edit the SEO URL, the SEO description and all that, and just click on save. Now you can also add your payment platforms here, just like we said before. You can use Squarespace payments, or you can use PayPal, Square, and I think you can even use Stripe. So you can choose to go with this, turn on Squarespace payments, and then you just set up your account, continue. I don't know, it would appear that Squarespace payments is only available for the US. I don't know if other countries can use it. Then you can click on this type of business. If it's a company, an individual, just go, the list just continues. It's very, very easy and intuitive. So we'll just now close this. I'll close this. If I come back to selling and I click on customer accounts, yes, you can enable customers to create accounts. And I come back here and low stock alerts. Yes, when products are less than maybe 2, then we should receive an alert that we need to restock. Let me stay here and save this first. I'm trying to round up this tutorial. It's getting too long. I come back to selling again. Cart. Enable preferred checkout. Yes. Enable express checkout. I'll do that and it's saved. I come back to selling and checkout. Custom checkout page. Checkout on your domain is enabled. Abandon checkout recovery. Yes, it's going to notify people when they added any item to their cart but did not follow through. Minimum order amount. You can set the minimum order amount. Let's say you must buy at least 200 before you can check out. When we come to this level, let customers buy multiple service products by showing the quantity field in the purchase flow. Yes. And then receipt details. If I click on that, you can show pre-tax price with items, you can show tax for each item, show net total, show a tax breakdown. All of this, you can add all of this, but I don't see any reason why. I'll just let it be the way it is. I'll come back to selling still, and I'll come back to, where were we? I think we were on checkout. Checkout. Allow email sign up, customers to sign up for your email on checkout. Yes. Default billing address, you can add that. You can add additional fields. I'm not going to do that. Collect with shipping required. Yes, you can do that. Enable custom form checkout. You can also do that. If I still come back to, now let's come to shipping. Still on checkout. Let's see if there's anything we've not done. Checkout customization. You can customize the checkout fields here. I'll come back to selling. And if I come to taxes, you can go to, I think it's a Hotjar website. Is it the Hotjar website? Is it TaxJar? And you can get the rates for each of the states in America. If you're in America, you can add the rates here manually and add them at checkout, or you can include them in their pricing. That's if you're in the EU. Then the selling, I'll come back to selling. Let's come to shipping. You can add your shipping options here. You can import them from Etsy. If you're doing local pickup, maybe you are selling something like food, you are an eatery restaurant, you can add pickup, set up pickup. You can also set up local delivery. If you go to add a shipping method, or you want to import this from Etsy, it's all up to you. So you can set up fulfillment profiles. I'll come back to selling. And then wait list, you can manage wait list. You can also include product reviews, request for reviews. When somebody buys a product from you, you can request for them to give you a review, 5-star review. I think there are tools being built nowadays to collect all of those, but you get the point. You can request for a review by email, and they can also do product store reviews. You can also import reviews maybe from Etsy. You can, if you're selling the same product on Etsy, you can import the reviews from here. So we've already gone through permissions and ownership. We've also gone through third-party tools, extensions. Let's see which extensions we have here. Okay, we've not gone through this. For extensions, you can integrate MailChimp, email, and SMS, tiny IMG, and this starts from $0. This one has a free tier, so this is going to smush the pictures on your website. If you're doing print on demand, you can integrate either Printify or Printful, any of them, or Synchy. I think this is also a print on, or no, this is drop shipping. Then for finance, Mayo by Amaka, Zero by Amaka, TaxJar, this is what I was talking about. It's going to give you the tax information for each state in America and even some nations. So shipping and fulfillment, you can use all of these. And then you can filter which one you want. Is it business tools? You see Chow Now online ordering. I don't know what that is. I'm going to find out about that, and I'm going to make tutorials on each of these. So that is how you set up a Squarespace website. I'm going to end it here because the video is already getting too long. We've already done domains and email. Yes, you can connect your Google Workspace account here and transfer your domain to Squarespace, because Squarespace now owns all Google domains. And then blog preferences. Now, we've not gone through this. Let me go to social links. Fave icons is this tiny thing you see here, like on this website, Pexels. You can add your fave icon there. You can add your fave icon. I'll come back. Where was I? Fave icon, social links. You can add social links, social sharing. You can add the Pinterest save button. You can add it. You can import and export content, blog preferences. You can manage tags, RSS, and setting up your blog or podcast. And then site promotion. You can allow Squarespace to promote your website. So you can go and set this up. You can click on the learn more button and learn more about this. So that wraps it up for this website, Squarespace website tutorial. If you got any value out of this video, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so that when we put out videos like this, you'll be the first to be notified. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel. God bless you. Peace.